You ever pissed in your pants? No! You ever just pee a little? You're like walking around and you pee? No, that's okay. Just me. Just me? All right. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. Stay with me here because it's a little bit of a long story. I've talked about how I fell and fucking ruined my back for all of eternity. But what happened after that? So I fell on my porch, hurt my back, lots of nerve damage, fractured vertebrae, multiple other things. Caused some problems, right? Had to quit the job I was at when I fell because I was working in a place where you were up high all the time and you could fall. You could fall really easy. And I wasn't so stable. My leg would go numb. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to fall in a repulper. If you don't know what that is, it's something where you throw sheets of pulp in and it has a 13-foot wide blade that just spins and tears up paper pulp. I didn't want to fall in that. You know, I'm a living person. I want to stay there. So I do what any reasonable person will do. Quit the fuck job. And drew out my 401k. All of that runs out eventually. Pay some bills, bought a vehicle, ran out of money. Now, what? What do I do? Well, I have to get a job. That's what you have to do. So I decide, well, I'll go work at this distribution center. The job that I'll do there will be just twisting, putting things in boxes, grabbing them off a conveyor belt, opening them up, scanning them, putting them in boxes that are behind me. So I start this job. I go through orientation. They put me there because I have a bad heart. The other jobs would be lifting heavy things, stacking them in trailers, or removing them from trailers and then putting them on conveyors. I have my forklift driver's certificate. I'm able to drive a forklift. In fact, I used to train people on how to drive forklifts.
Wet yet?
Anyway, I keep going through this job, 12-hour shifts. I do the first weekend. Everything seems to be going okay. I'm not super fast at it. My production is fairly low. They're like, you need to get that up. And I'm like, what is production? How's it calculated? And they're like, I don't know, figure it out, asshole.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So no help there. I'll just keep doing it. I'll try to get faster. So one day, I'm going to stand up for this. Something you guys haven't seen me do much.
So one day, I'm at the job and I'm grabbing things, scanning them because the table's low, because most people that work in this job
are older people and women, shorter people.
So I'm 6'2" and a little change. I grab the box, scan the things, and I'm going to twist to put the things in the boxes behind me. Well, I go to do that, and my leg goes completely numb. And I fall forward, and I grab the table. That saves my ass from going all the way to the ground. Ugh. So, not going all the way to the ground. My leg went numb. Can't feel it. It's numb from the hip down. So hip, knee, and hoof are all completely numb. Everything from here below is numb. My dick's numb. Can't feel anything. So, good. Good, I didn't fall all the way down and bust my head open and die. Fantastic. My life's still okay. Stand up. When I stand up, still kind of numb, got that tingly, it fell asleep feeling. Well, the lady who's working opposite of me, because the table spans for 2 conveyors, she goes, "Ma," and I went, "What?" And she goes, "I think you had a little accident."
Billy peed his pants.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants.
And at this job, I was wearing gray basketball shorts. Well, what happens when gray shorts get wet? You can see everything through them. So my wiener is now essentially exposed to this older lady who is distraught because I've pissed all over myself and she saw it all happen. So she's freaking out. And I'm like, let me cover up my shame here. I gotta go talk to the boss because I want out of my pissy pants. So I do this little shit all the way around. And this is like the length of, I think, 10 football fields to find the manager that's supposed to be near us, but she's over talking to her friends. I get over there, still covering up, and I say, "Hey, I need to go home. Just real quick. I need to go home." And she goes, "Why?" And I said, "I don't want to discuss this right now. I just need to get out of here. And she said, well, you're going to have to give me a reason or else you're quitting. And I said, I don't want to quit. I need the job, because I did. I needed money, needed the job. I say, please, I just need to go home real fast. I'll come right back and I won't take a lunch. This will count as my lunch. She said, we have lunch at the same time every day. You will have to wait until then.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I said, that's 2 hours away. I'm gonna get a rash. She said, a rash? And I said, I quit. And she said, what? And I said, here's my badge and stuff. I won't be back, because fuck that. I don't want to be the guy that pissed himself because what I was handling at the time were bras. Do you want to look like a guy who maybe jizzed in his pants because he was touching bras? No, neither do I. So I say, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. I quit then, because that's what she was pushing me towards. Quit or stay and work. That was the only two options here. Now I'm jobless. And I say, okay, what can I do?
Can't do anything. Not at that time, anyway. So I got my 2008 Dodge Durango, beautiful vehicle, named it Blake. Drove it to the park. The park near my house has a lake. I kept creeping towards the lake because at the time, it wasn't so funny to me. I felt pretty distraught.
That I'm at the time, 28-year-old man who can't work a regular job without pissing his pants. Hey, Ron, from when I was standing up earlier, want to just ask you, subscribe, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't like it. But I also wanted to ask, have you ever been through a situation that seemed like this is the end, everything's bad, why keep going, and you persevered? Or are you in that situation right now? If you are, get help, talk to somebody, because suffering in silence does nothing for anybody. It does nothing for you. It does nothing for your family. It does nothing for anybody that loves and cares about you. And trust me, there are people that love and care about you. Now back to the story.
I'm thinking, if I drive into this little lake, eventually it'll carry me to the river and I'll just won't be around anymore. Because I was very upset that my body had given up on me. Now, I tell you this story because it's funny. It's hilarious. A grown man that pisses himself and loses a job because of it is hilarious. But also, because don't give up. You don't have to have a perfectly able body to be able to be worthwhile. But in my head at the time, that's what I was thinking. And I almost gave up. Instead, I kept going. And here I am today, a massive YouTuber with over 300 subscribers. I've graduated college now. It just takes putting your mind to it, because I spent years after that trying to reconcile with what my body can and can't do now. I went to work at other distribution centers and warehouses and things like that, which were my wheelhouse. That's what I had been in, the mill. A couple years later, I decided I'm going back to school. Go to school, get my degrees, and now I'm looking for a job. And the other day, I got very upset and depressed, and some of those thoughts started creeping back in because nobody had hired me yet. But somebody will, and I know they will. And that's what keeps me going. And that's why I tell you this story. It's embarrassing, yes. It's hysterically funny, realistically. All I'm saying is, don't give up. You have a life. As long as you're breathing, there's breath in your lungs. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50. You'll figure something out. Just keep looking around. Take your time. I know it seems like it, but there's an old saying that says if you can't be uncomfortable in a lower life situation for a while so that you can make your life better and be in a good situation later on, then you're never going to find that good situation. So I've lived uncomfortably with less money for a long time, but soon I will be back on my feet again and as sturdy as I can possibly be. That's all. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Look me in my eyes. I love you all. And I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace.